Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to Talk with Dr. Agnes. Now, this is a special episode because it's my first attempt at vlogging, so bear with me. The Zambian community invited me for their wellness event as a guest speaker, and I shall be going there today. I've had my makeup done on flick, and off I go. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I am here at the event. Thank you for joining me. This is fun. Conference room 5. Oh wow. Zambia.
Are we awake? Yes. Awesome, awesome. It's good to always get some movement going in your body. I would also love to thank our sponsors for this lovely event. So we're being sponsored by Nova Scotia government through the Department of Health and Wellness, and the branch there is the Equity Programs and Initiatives. Now our next segment for the day is going to be a health and wellness master class, and it's going to be led by Dr. Agnes Chinello. So Dr. Agnes Chinello obtained her medical degree from University of Ibadan, Nigeria's foremost university. And following that, she pursued her residency in family medicine in the United Kingdom and gained valuable experience while working there for several years. She is also a member of esteemed institutions, including Royal College of General Practitioners, MRCGP, and the College of Family Physicians of Canada, CCFP. With over 2 decades of medical practice, Dr. Agnes Chinello has developed a unique approach to health promotion. She recognizes the importance of preventative medicine and health education, which has led her to actively promote health on various social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads, and her YouTube channel. And you can find her if you were to search Talk with Dr. Agnes on all those platforms there. And also her website, which is talkwithagnes.com. So her goal is to protect, promote, and maintain health and well-being and prevent disease, disability, and death. Dr. Agnes Chinello is a fully licensed practicing family medicine physician based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. So please, let's give a round of applause for Dr. Agnes Chinello as she comes to lead the Wellness Masterclass.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. For a second there, I was wondering who she was introducing. I was like, that can be me. All right, thank you all. Good morning to you all. Oh, wow.
Good
You
morning.
all are all hammered
Good
from
morning.
this physical section. Okay, so I want to start by thanking the Zambian community for inviting me here. It's such an honor to spend almost the whole day with the Zambian community. I'm really thrilled and excited to be here. So thank you. So I'm going to start off with hypertension, okay? So according to Hypertension Canada, 7.5 million people in Canada, that's about 1 in 5 adults live with hypertension. That's staggering. So possibly 1 in 5 of us here may have hypertension, right? 1 in 3 people with hypertension, they have uncontrolled blood pressure, particularly high-risk patients with diabetes and kidney disease. Now, people say, what is blood pressure? So blood pressure is the force of blood against the walls of your arteries. So the best way I can explain it is that imagine the pipes that's, water, the pipe that's, runs through, our house. So imagine the force of that water against the walls of the pipe, right? Is the force. So when the force is high, what do we call it? Yeah? Say that? High blood pressure. It's as easy as that. That's what when the force is normal, what do we call it?
Blood pressure.
Normal blood pressure. And when the force is low, what do we call it?
Low blood pressure.
It's as simple as that. So if you want to go away with that, that's fine by me. So it's the force that we're measuring. The force of blood against the walls of your arteries is blood pressure. Okay? So, or we call it hypertension. All right? Now, that would prefer that your blood pressure should be less than 140/90. If it can be less than 140/90, we will take that. But if you look at the spread there, so we have high normal there, so which is 130 to 139, 85. So that's high normal. But when we start to get here, when it's above 140/90, then we say that you have hypertension. Okay? Then we have borderline. Normal, we prefer it to be 120, over 80 and all of that. So we also have low blood pressure. So when your blood pressure is less than 90/60. So, but all these numbers, please don't, because if you can understand that we want it to be less than 140/90. All right, so what are the causes? The best way I can explain is what you can't control and what you can control. What you can't control is age. We're all aging every day. We can't do anything about that. That's a constant factor. Whilst we're praying for long life, please add that I want to be healthy long life, right? Because age comes with baggage as well, okay? And there's nothing you can do with the family that you're born into. You can't throw away your family. They gave you those genes. So genetic family history, there's nothing you can do about it, all right? So those two things you can't control. But guess what? We have many things we can control. We can control unhealthy factors like smoking, excessive alcohol intake, sedentary lifestyle. We just did a wellness session here, the physical fitness session, physical exercise. That can reduce obesity, help with managing stress, because when you're exercising, it releases you have the happy chemicals in the brain, serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin, all those neurotransmitters in the brain. They are stimulated more during exercise. Now, what are the signs? Now, some people may not have any symptoms, and that's why we say hypertension is a silent killer. So some people may have atypical, we call it just chest pain. Some people may just say difficulty in breathing, feeling sick, nausea, vomiting can happen. We call that the malignant hypertension, when your blood pressure is really so high, blood vision. Some people maybe having worsening anxiety, especially with confusion, especially with malignant hypertension. Some might have ringing in the ears, nosebleeds. I've seen a patient that was having recurrent nosebleeds and blood pressure was high, and you can have irregular rhythm. Like I said, hypertension is often referred to as a silent killer. So in terms of management and prevention, under here we have investigation, medications, lifestyle, modifications. How many of you have heard of DASH? Not Kardashians. DASH. So DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. Now this was a robust research done, evidence-based research, to find out the diet was created to see if it helps to lower blood pressure. And it was proven that over years that just from diet and lifestyle modification, it can lower your blood pressure, especially if you're in the borderline category. See that spread of blood pressure chart I gave you there. So it's what happened that the DASH eating pattern basically is more of Mediterranean diet sort of. So you eat more fruits and vegetables, whole grains, fat-free, low-fat dairy, fish, poultry, and you lean more towards your left side. Limit fatty food. So especially those of us in Nigeria, they say, no, I want this meat with lots of fats. Full fat dairy, everything sugar, sweetened, all the sweet things. Oh, God help us. All your ice creams, everything. Additional benefit of sticking to this diet is it helps in the reduction of blood pressure, like I said, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. Even they found that it prevents colorectal cancer, heart failure, kidney stones, stroke, cholesterol. So this is a no-brainer rather. So DASH diet, if you can include that in your diet, you can take a picture of that and implement that going forward in your diet, in your lifestyle and your diet intake. That will go a long way. Okay. What is diabetes? Diabetes is a disease in which your body cannot produce insulin in some, or not properly, producing insulin. So insulin is a hormone that is produced by the organ called the pancreas. And the pancreas is an organ that is at the left upper side here of our abdomen, just left upper here, okay, behind the stomach. Now the pancreas has dual roles, and part of it is it helps to produce enzymes that help to digest food, particularly protein. Hence I was telling you to draw there. The pancreas is an organ, and that organ helps to produce insulin, and we need the insulin to help to regulate our blood sugar. Is that correct? Is that yeah? Okay. Now, so insulin regulates the blood sugar, and because we also need insulin to help to use that sugar for energy as well. Okay. Now, what are the types? We have type 2 diabetes, that's the most common type of diabetes. And what's happening here is that they're not properly using the insulin made by their bodies, or they're not producing enough. Basically, the insulin is there, it's just being lazy. It's not working, it's like it's passive. It's like they're there, but they're not there. So that's when it's not being properly utilized, or it's not producing enough insulin, because if you're not producing enough insulin, how can you take care of the sugar? Type 1 is usually autoimmune. It means that the body is attacking the pancreas and making it not enough to produce insulin. And that's why in type 1 diabetes, they need insulin. So that's the management. We have to give them insulin, because for some reason, the body is just attacking the pancreas, and the pancreas is not able to make enough insulin. So we have gestational diabetes. This kind of is a temporary one, and it's usually a form of diabetes that happens in pregnancy. Usually it should reverse, but I've seen a few patients where they developed the diabetes during pregnancy, and that's how they now went on to develop type 2 diabetes. But usually it's a temporary condition. And then pre-diabetes, this is my favorite category when I'm dealing with as a health promotion advocate. I usually try and catch my patients here at the pre-diabetic range, because I don't want them to go on to develop diabetes. 11 million Canadians are living with diabetes or pre-diabetes. So that's staggering. 1 in 3 Canadians live with diabetes or pre-diabetes, and someone is newly diagnosed with diabetes every 3 minutes here in Canada. Symptoms, again, no symptoms in some patients. I had a patient that I was just treating her for thrush, recurring thrush, and I was saying, you know what? Let's just do your blood test. Let me check for sugar. Boom, she had diabetes. So it can be recurrent infection, unusual thirst, frequent urination. That doesn't mean that when you go all the time, that's, I went for a health talk, I'm sure I have diabetes. But this is just to prompt you, okay? So that you can go and see your doctor, especially if you haven't gone for blood work in a while, okay? Extreme fatigue, you could have blurred vision. I talked about recurrent infections. Again, you have cuts and bruises that, slow to heal, non-healing, ulcers and what have you, tingling, numbness in the hands and feet. Now, there are a lot of things that can cause tingling and numbness. Please, even just vitamin deficiencies can cause that. So I'm just giving you a whole list, all right? And then even, I talked about erectile dysfunction there. We have diabetes ketoacidosis, meaning there's too much sugar that you're not passing ketones in the urine, okay? All right. So we go to cholesterol management. So cholesterol is actually good. Some people might say, cholesterol. I don't want cholesterol. We need cholesterol actually. It is a fat-like waxy substance found in the blood and is derived from the liver and diet. So cholesterol is essential. It helps us to build cells and make vitamins and hormones. So, but what we want is that there are classes of cholesterol. So the good cholesterol helps to remove excess cholesterol from the body. And cholesterol is naturally made by your body, like I said, and is increased through diet. So HDL, higher, HDL, high density lipoprotein, we want that because those are the sources that's what helps to remove the excess cholesterol. So it is knowing the type of cholesterol to eat, the diet, okay? LDL is the bad cholesterol. I'll tell you a bit more of some other bad cholesterol, but these ones are usually the common. So HDL, we want the good cholesterol, okay? Because we need the good cholesterol to help us to remove the excess, help us to build cells, make hormones and vitamins, okay? So these are the types of cholesterol. So the total cholesterol is basically just like the total number of people in the family, all right? So that's your total cholesterol. Now, I talked about the LDL. Those are the bad cholesterol. Too much of it is bad, and those are the ones that increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. The high density is the one we want. That's the good cholesterol. Like I said, it helps to remove the excess cholesterol and keep the blood flowing freely, nicely, all right? Those are good sources of like omega-3. I will talk about that in the sources later. Triglycerides is also a form of bad cholesterol. Those are the ones we see in those of us from Nigeria, the meat pie, pastries, cakes, all of them. Triglycerides, oh gosh, help us. So alcohol, smoking, triglycerides. Then we have the non-HDL cholesterol. It's basically subtracting those ones are, for us family healthcare professionals. So we have, I must say here, we have family history. Like I said, you can't divorce your family from wherever you're from. These genes are passed down, right? So there are people that inherit, they have a gene that affects how cholesterol is regulated and removed from the body. So those people, even they can develop high cholesterol at a very young age. And so if there is any suspicion that you have strong family history of cholesterolemia, hypercholesterolemia in the family, you can see your family doctor for that. You may go for genetic testing and what have you. But it's not, we have cholesterol that happens from age 40 and above. So the non-familiar ones, like I said, men 40 years and older, 50 older women, or if you're menopausal, you have history of previous heart attack, stroke, if you're diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, if you smoke, if you're not at your healthiest weight, if there's history of inflammatory conditions, race and ethnicity, like I said, that black population, Asian, indigenous people, medications, again, like prednisolone, some steroids can increase your risk. Medical conditions can also increase your risk of cholesterol. And for example, and again, I always say lack of physical activity, poor eating habits can lead to obesity, being overweight, and they are all linked to diabetes and sleep apnea. Okay, you can see those yellow, those are the plaques there, all right, blocking the arteries, okay? Importance of regular checkups. I emphasize to go and see your doctor once a year. If you're healthy, if you have chronic disease conditions, I always say minimum, because like I said, we need to check your blood tests, check your diabetes test, your kidney function, and all of that. So we need at least twice a year for diabetics, right? So if you're hale and healthy, that's what I want. Once a year, just do like New Year, new blood work. If you remember that, so every when they say Happy New Year, be Happy New Year to your doctor. I'm gonna have blood work done, okay? All right. So the importance of early detection, regular checkup, like I said, helps to ensure there are no health issues and it's caught early before it becomes serious, okay? Monitoring of chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, for those that have chronic health conditions. It is an opportunity to adjust any treatment plan, because once you see the results of the blood test, you'll be able to make adjustments. Say, oh my God, this diabetes test is still high, let's adjust the dose. So it's always important for early adjustment of treatment plan. Preventative care also provides opportunity for preventative measures like vaccinations. When the diabetics come out, say, when was the last flu shot? And I use the opportunity. If you don't come, how would I be chasing you? It's when you come and want to have blood tests and all those things done, and I'll say, oh, you haven't had your shingles shot, you haven't had that, you haven't had that. So that's the importance of health screening. Also comprehensive assessment and, just to address any overall health and well-being, okay? All right, so that's another thing I wanted to talk about is cancer screening. Breast cancer here in Nova Scotia, 40 to 74, but routinely is from 50. So they always say if you're 40, go and ask your healthcare professional if you should have it. And my answer is always yes. Lung cancer screening, this is for only those that smoke. Please don't call them, it's actually self-referral. So if you've been a smoker for at least 20 years, you don't need a family doctor or any healthcare professional. You can actually ring them if you Google lung cancer screening program, Nova Scotia Health Authority, you will find it there. There's a number there, it's self-referral, but you have to meet the criteria. You have to have been smoking daily for 20 years and have a history of that. So and above, they will screen you anyway. So if you know your friends, anybody who has been smoking, been a chronic smoker, you can actually give them the number. They can ring and to see whether they meet the criteria for lung screening. Okay. All right. So mental health. There's a difference between anxiety and anxiety disorder. The difference between anxiety and anxiety disorder is when you're having those symptoms and it's persistent and excessive, and that is now interfering with your everyday function. For example, with social phobia, because they're having all this anxiety and panic attacks, palpitations, and excessive worrying, and that is now preventing them from going about their activity daily living. That's when it now becomes a disorder, right? So it's normal to have anxious feeling. That's human response, okay? Right, what are the symptoms? You have excessive worry, fear, we talk about physical symptoms, like sometimes we have these psychosomatic symptoms where they be complaining of vague things, abdominal pain, lots of things, so they're just internalizing those emotional symptoms. Avoidance behavior, like I said, because maybe if I'm so anxious that I'm now avoiding to go to do things, that's avoidance behavior based on the symptoms. Irritability, difficulty concentrating, sleep disturbances because they're having ruminating thoughts, overthinking, they can't sleep, they can't shut down, because of this excessive worry. Panic attacks, rituals or compulsions, like, before they do something or when they go there, they are washing their hand excessively because of fear of contamination, and they can't go to the bathroom because they don't want to contaminate their habit. It can be very distressing, honestly, very, very distressing anxiety disorder. Hypervigilance, always, making sure, because they are hypervigilant, it will prevent them. So I had a patient that was so obsessive in their thoughts that they're very good at their job, but the production or their what's that word, performance, his performance was was low. They're very good, but because of this excessive thoughts and ritualistic behavior, it was very slow, it wasn't meeting tasks and what have you. So anxiety disorder is real, all right? I had a patient that was so severely depressed and had severe depression and anxiety. She thought she had dementia. But that's how serious that when depression and anxiety can, really impair your focus and concentration, because you're not processing that information to preserve it or to retain it, so that when you need it, when you want to retrieve that information, you have it, because you didn't process it well, and because you're so distracted in your thinking and that you couldn't. So that's what depression and anxiety can cause, okay? Changes in appetite, and like I said, some people may eat too much, some people may lose appetite. I must say here, this is very sensitive. Thoughts of death or thoughts of suicidal ideation, self-harming, and like I said, we have agitated depression, restlessness. Some people have, like I say, unexplained physical symptoms like back pain, headaches. I had a patient that told me, "Doctor, I'm always tired." Especially we Africans, we Nigerians, I'm always tired, I'm always tired. That may be a coded tired thing for depression, because of the stigma within our culture. They don't want to say that I'm depressed. They just say, "I'm just tired," I'm telling you the truth, So you have to dig deep, I've talked about stress is a natural part of existence, and I keep telling people, stress will not go away, but what matters is how you manage that stress. Stress doesn't. I always say, I'm always stressed. I'm stressed, but this stress is not going to go away. This stress, when you're consistently in a flight
fight or fight mode, because what happens is that the cortisol is a hormone that is released by the adrenal gland, and the adrenal glands are in the upper part of your kidneys, and they are there to respond to challenges. So cortisol is actually good, but the problem is too much cortisol, and that too much cortisol will put you in a fight or fight mode. So you have to find a way to minimize the stress. There are stresses that I always compartmentalize mine. I say, can I deal with this now? Okay, I'm going to deal with it. I slot them in baskets or to do tasks, because I cannot deal with everything at the same time. And the things that I can't do anything about, I don't worry about it. I try as much as not to worry, because if it's out of my hands, it's out of my hands. The things that I can do, I'll decide if I can delegate them. If I can't, then I need to decide when to do them. So I have that structure so that helps to minimize my stress. Okay? Now. Okay, question time. Yes, hand raised there.
You didn't mention anything to do with genetics when it comes to diabetes. So, how risky is somebody who is from a family that has history of diabetes?
Okay.
Let's say I'm eating well, I'm trying my best to keep as active as
Yeah.
as you,
Mm-hmm.
What is
The risk. You want to know the ratio. Unfortunately, we don't have that answer. But the thing is, you're already doing the right thing, and the best way to know is from regular blood check. So you're doing all the right thing by eating healthy, regular exercise. The risk will always be there. In fact, the risk will get worse because age will now start to get, as you get older. So those two factors will catch up on us one way or the other if you have a family history and your increasing age. But you can still do something about it, which is the eating right, physical activity and all that. And then it's regular, it's from the blood check when you go for your regular screening, and it will be picked up. So I normally do what we call historical reading, like I can see the blood tests that my patients have done over a couple of years, so I can see how it's trending. So based on that, I can say, oh, your levels was this last year, and now it's gone 1 or 2 points. It's in your now, that's your level, your risk is increasing based on your blood test. But it's not seen as a way to know the ratio. It's just that you have that history forever. And then as you get older, that risk will increase, but you can reduce that with the lifestyle diet modification. Okay? Does Zambia have another question, a follow-up question?
What are the chances of gestation diabetes coming back in the next pregnancy? Let's say.
Yes, it will can come back again.
So
but if the person, if it was reversed and there's healthy lifestyle and all those things, it can minimize the risk because pregnancy is a form of stress that can put that stress on the metabolic system and predispose that person to having increased blood sugar in the bloodstream. So if that stress is removed, good stress baby, then and the person was normal before, there's a chance that, but it's going to go on in your personal risk. So when you fall pregnant again, you say, was there any history of gestational diabetes? Yes. So the risk is there, but doesn't mean it will happen. All right. So the risk will be there.
So there's a possibility that you can either have it again.
There is a possibility, yes, or may not. Again, depending on the modification and lifestyle. Absolutely. Yeah. Question. Yeah.
I have a question about flu shot.
Yes.
So is it any risk about it if you don't get flu shot?
I know. I mean, it's not that. So I have patients that don't go for flu shot.
Because I used to take flu shot and then I used to get sick of it.
Well, initially you may get, you're right, because what is happening is to boost your immune system and give you a low dose of what the illness may be like, and then some people have supercharged immune response to it. So it could happen, yeah, but it still produces antibodies, so you can. I like that honesty. Jessica?
Back to the gestational
Yeah.
diabetes. Say if your A1C was high when you're pregnant, can you get rid of the diabetes while you're pregnant, or will you have to be treated for
Treated.
diabetes? You can't
Insulin, yes, you're going to be treated.
You're going to be
yes,
treated
yes,
regardless.
absolutely,
Okay.
yes. Okay. Because we're looking at if we don't control it, it could affect the baby.
Yeah.
So it's to be managed and then discontinued after pregnancy.
I know it's of the abnormal, but if you were to lose weight
Oh,
or
yeah.
diet while you're pregnant, will you?
Why would we
lose
want to
that
put you
abnormal?
through that stress during pregnancy? It can happen, yeah. So
But
that
diet and exercise while pregnant will not get rid of that gestational diabetes.
it's made. Look, in medicine, it can happen, But that's where that tailored individual plan with the obstetrician, right? And to weigh the pros and cons. And then determine, look at the scan, look at historically your blood sugar, manage the motivation, family history. So there's a lot of factors to take into consideration. Because with the obstetrician, their priority is that I want mother and baby well. It's like that's all they're looking at. They have tunnel vision. So they may just say, I just want to deliver a healthy baby. After that we can deal with it afterwards. So it depends. So it's now between you and your obstetrician.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see what you guys drew. Let's see, don't hide, let's see your plates. Let me see your plates. Joshua, let's see. Okay, Tisha, let's see. Oh, okay, carbs is low. Protein, yeah, okay, not bad. But yeah. That will pass, okay? Because the carbs is almost close to half. Oh, not you, to Paula. So let's see yours. Okay, carbs, fruits, okay, yes, okay. Let's see. Carbs, fruit, yeah, your carbs a little bit big, but yes, okay. All right, let's see. Ooh, you definitely love your food, sir. Let's see if that's carbs. No, that's a little bit too much. Let's see that. Not bad. Let's see here. Oh, meat, protein. I like a little bit too much. Let's see that. Carbs. Okay, you love your food. Okay. All right. So this is what Canada expects the food guide, right? So I have a little trick. So today is my chief day, like I said, it's my Canadian 5th anniversary coming to Nova Scotia, so I'm going to do the reverse of this today. But what I normally do is that I start to dish my fruits and vegetables first, okay? And then I now go on to the protein, the carb is the last. So by the time, I kind of deceive it's a visual thing, right? So by the time the plate looks a bit full, then I don't have much space for the carbs. So that's what I do. So even when I go to parties and all that, I just go from the fruit section and make my way down. All right. So that is what the Canada Food Guide expects us to how to plate our food. All right. And drink lots of water. Okay. Okay. I can see you.
I believe it is lunchtime, so we will take our lunch now, and we can just head out at the door there and get something to eat. If you can remember the portion sizes that we learned today.
Here are the final session, the last segment, which is the breakout session, where the attendees are taking their vitals, their blood pressure, and we're just brief history regarding smoking and lifestyle changes that they can implement going forward. And so far so good. The attendees have found it really beneficial, and so this has been a very exciting, fulfilling event for me personally as well. you have to say regarding the health talk.
It was really great. Again, we appreciate the knowledge that we've gotten this morning and just the interaction and just kind of like checking in to know and prioritize our health. So we really appreciate it. It was a great day.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
I attended a session with Dr. Agnes. It was very informative. I loved the presentation. I loved her energy. I loved. Well, I got to find out some things about my health again that I didn't know, and I'm glad that I came here and really appreciate her and what she's done for us around here. And you know, if I was to give like a recommendation to anybody, I would say go for it. Her services or whatever, just very, very good at what she does.
Hello everybody, my name is Artisha and I have benefited a lot from this health and wellness session. I love it when people gather together to learn more and be empowered about their health. It's never too late to start your health journey, but Dr. Agnes gave us a lot of pointers and just some of the causes and symptoms and how to, and she gave us some of those preventative measures. So just understanding some of these sicknesses and diseases that we go through, but there's a way to actually overcome them. So definitely get checked and do your get that knowledge that you need. It's important for your health.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's a wrap. Hello everyone again. I hope you all found the health event very empowering, and that's the essence of this workshop, so that you, one way or the other, we take one or two things back home that would help us towards our wellness journey. And remember that they say Rome wasn't built in a day. So every little helps. So whatever little change, the key here is consistency. Consistency. It's not by being good today and the rest of the week you're but I want you to know that even if you fall off the bandwagon, just start again. Don't give up on yourself. I remember there are times when I'll be so upset with myself throughout my wellness journey when I was trying to lose weight, but the most important thing is picking yourself back up again and not giving up on yourself. That's the key, consistency and not giving up. And as long as you have SMART goals, and I repeat it again, it has to be specific. You can't say you want to lose 20 pounds in 1 month or 2 months. That's very unrealistic. So start with small goals and just say, you know what, my plan is to, even if it's to do 10 minutes walk 3 times a week for the next month, and then you tick that off, and then you gradually build from there. Or say I'm going to, reduce, take out, if someone that loves chocolate, you might say, okay, I normally have chocolate 3 times a week. You know what? I'm going to try and just eat chocolate twice a week and be consistent with that. It's a small, every little helps matters, and they all add up in the end. So set realistic goals. They have to be smart, achievable, measurable, and timely, and say, okay, I'll give myself 1 year target and see if I can lose so and so pounds every couple of weeks. The most important thing is the consistency. And by the time you start seeing that you're consistent about it, that's when that's where the routine builds. You now have a routine that you're sticking with, and that will help you towards your wellness. I wish all of you all the best, and I'm available on social media platforms, and your comments and your feedback, whatever questions you have, I can send a note to me via the platforms, and I'll reply you. Okay? All right. You take care. Okay. Bye. So here we are. This event has been, first of all, I would say it's been well organized. I want to thank the Zambian community for inviting me as their guest speaker. And the attendees have found it really beneficial. We
heading towards we are at the last segment of the event, which is blood pressure check, BMI check, and just basic social history, just to elicit any risk of developing any chronic health condition, and just basically health education and awareness, and to empower them on their journey towards wellness and aging well. And also for those that have chronic health conditions, just information on how to reduce mobility as well as mortality. So all in all, it's a well-organized event, and I really appreciate the Zambian community for inviting me here today. All right, check me out at my next health promotion event, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.